Flashing a boulder is the holy grail of climbing, and competitions are built around it. Climbing a boulder as quickly as possible is the whole game. I'm a pro climber, I've been competing on the World Cup circuit for a couple of years, and we're here today at the GB Climbing's Elite Training Centre, and I'm gonna try and teach you how to flash boulders. Flashing stuff is the goal, but all of these tricks are useful for climbing boulders quickly. So in a comp, you get 5 minutes to climb the boulder. I have a set strategy that I do every single time. Firstly, I'll run out to it, I'll look at it. I'll check where I know all the holds are. The number of times that I've missed a little screw on around the side because it's the same color as the wall, or a random hold off to the side. Survey the whole thing and make sure you're getting everything. Brush every single hold. For me, I'll almost like brush it from start to finish. So I'll start at the bottom hold and then go up to the top, and it's almost like internalizing where all the holds are. After I finish brushing, I'll always stand back. So I leave my chalk bag back away from the wall. Look at the boulder. And then I'll start reading it, basically. What's really important is you don't just jump onto the boulder without having thought about it. Right, so this boulder is the yellow one. It's on these yellow holds with these volume feet. Now, pretty obviously, I see a jump right at the beginning. For me, I think I'm gonna have to land on the outside, so I've got a bit of lean into the wall, and then I'm probably gonna end up holding this part of the volume to slow myself down. I know those holds up there and they're not very good, so I'm gonna have to go slowly to them, and then I've got this foothold here to go to the top move. Yeah, nice. Oh, it's quite sketchy up here. Yeah, there it is. Nice. Sweet, okay, that was pretty much what I thought. It's always nice. In that situation, I didn't know what to do with my feet at the beginning of the boulder. I was like this, like running around. In this position, I had loads of time. I was on a massive jump. It's on a slab and I was on feet. If I spend 2 minutes hanging off a hold on a steep boulder, I'm gonna get tired and I'm not gonna do the move. In that situation, you're much better off going with your intuition early and failing fast. But on a slab like this, I can take my time, I can work it out, I can make mistakes that aren't critical. I can go with my left hand, oh, that doesn't feel right, I'll come back down. If you're trying to flash something, it's probably within your grade ability. So take the risk that you're gonna get it wrong, parlay that into actually doing the boulder on the top because you're gonna have some strength to spare. So we've covered some of the fundamentals on that first boulder. I've never tried this boulder before, so I'm gonna try and do everything right and explain the process as I go. So first thing I'm gonna do, brush the holds. While I'm doing this, I'm kind of getting a sense for how good the holds are. So I actually know all of these holds, so I have a general idea of what I'm up against to start with. The reason I know these holds is because I've been climbing them for a long time. These are super popular. I've climbed them here, I've climbed them on other walls around the world. Knowing the holds gives you an advantage because you know what to expect when you're going with something. There's nothing worse than going for a hold and expecting it to be a jug and it's a nice slopey crimp. Outdoors, obviously, it's much harder, but when we're inside, we see the same shapes all the time. So it's about learning to kind of deal with them on the fly. Outdoors, you will start to learn the holds as well, just off of the rock type, and you'll start to get clues for how the rock is forming in a way that like, okay, that looks like that's gonna be better than sort of it appears from the ground. Again, all of this is knowledge and experience, but it's only something you're gonna build up by trying to assess it from the ground. That's when you're gonna learn, that's when you're gonna reassess and like build those mental models to be more successful the next time. I know this is gonna be good. However, I also know that there's no foothold between there and there. So I'm gonna have to probably swing a foot up here. And now, to me, that distance there looks like a knee bar. So I think this boulder is gonna be built around this knee bar. When you're reading these boulders, you are a detective. You're trying to figure out all the little tricks that people have come up with before. So for example, I see a lot of rubber on this lower side here, which makes me think that that's the best bit of the foothold. I'm also seeing a little bit of chalk in that slot that might mean that that's gonna be useful later on. Depending on the boulder and how many people have been on it, you might get more or less information. If I come out to a comp, that's one of the first things I'll look for is like rubber marks, where like random bits of chalk are, bits of chalk that I don't expect, and that can all help you like guide towards a solution. I'm gonna try and continue the streak. Isn't he up? That works, okay. Now I'm into a bit more free form. To the top. Ooh, a butt sit. That's a nice breakfast. Oh, God. Nice. Okay. So I did not read that I was going to sit on that ledge. It's a full contact sport. You've got to get everything involved. We're going to get a little bit spicier now. We're going to do a jump. So flashing dynamic moves is a lot more difficult than flashing static moves. You have to be well practiced in order to get it right the first time. That is a big reason why comps these days have a lot of dynamic moves, is because it's a really good way of splitting the field. Again, always brushing, starting to understand the holds, little rubber marks. Like, to me, this looks like I'm going to be getting on. I'm going to be jumping up into this press and planting a foot at the same time. So this crimp is also super slotted too. My intuition says to not even think about that at all. If I try and jump to that dynamically, I'm never gonna get it right. I'm gonna focus on jumping up onto this foot, pressing really hard into this undercut, and then I can come back down onto here. I have a habit of reading the crux or the thing I think is gonna be difficult really carefully, and then totally forgetting about the top. So I'm actually gonna look at this top move. So it looks like we're gonna flip this round, and actually I know that top hold and I think it's gonna be pretty good. So build up onto these feet and go from there. So one of the most common mistakes that I see every single time on trying to flash dynamic moves is lack of commitment and lack of confidence. The only way you're gonna do the move is if you fully commit to it the first time. The number of times I've seen people jump for a jug and then like slap it just to prove to themselves they can get the distance. Like that's the difference between doing it first go and not. So I'm gonna climb this like I know I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna do it. Oh no! I was hoping to have a perfect flash session. Is not to be. Okay, so I think trying to jump 2 feet wasn't the way. I think what I'm probably gonna do is start with the foot up high and then pull onto it. Oh no, second go as well. Oh, okay. Oh, it's not even a jump after all that. So I did exactly what I said not to do, and I was underconfident to this move. Oh, this whole boulder's gone to pot. It's not all about getting it right. I'm never gonna get all boulders right the first go, and that's why I'm here. I'm like learning and growing, getting better all the time. To me, that's one of the things I really like about climbing. It's not obvious. It's not just like, okay, I'm gonna go this. It's the creativity. It's the journey to get up a boulder. I think it's really cool. However, the journey is not always easy, and it's sometimes really annoying. Oh, that's a small hold. Okay. There it is. Totally static. However, the next time I come to a boulder that looks like that, maybe I'll be a little closer to it on the first go. We'll see. That's the game. That's what we do it for. So last boulder I identified as a dyno, and it was not. This one, I actually do think is a dyno. So you've got this like 4-tag start position, and then somehow you've got to get over there. There's a pretty deep level of analysis that has to go into every single time you're thinking about these climbs. Like on simpler climbs, it could be as simple as, oh, that hole's tilted a little bit to the left, so I think I'm gonna grab that with my left hand. I know that this is so directional, it's so pointed to the left that I'm gonna have to have something pushing me this way in order to stay on the hold when I get there. In boulders inside, you've got the added advantage that you know that there's a way that a setter has intended it. It's very rare that somebody put a boulder on the wall without having a sequence in mind or a way that they climbed it during testing. So let's try the move. I'm gonna try it as Japan Cup style. Roll over and then push with this hand, and then ideally slam the foot back onto the start. Oh yeah, that was sick. Oh no, I haven't read the top. Okay. You've got to read every move. Oh, okay. Game on, I think. Okay, I'm a bit scared. Oh, this folds so bad. No. Okay, figure it out. No! Oh. I got within like an inch of my left hand, but my left hand was like pushing on the wall, stopping me from twisting off. So as soon as I like brought it above my head, it was straight down. I did exactly what I said on the last boulder, where I get so excited about the crux, the dynamic move, that I forgot to read the rest of it. Terrible. Yes. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad there was a jug there. So key points we looked at: brush the holes, start to understand where everything is, like really get an idea, and then start to make a plan based off of where everything is. From there, get on the boulder and try really hard. Commit, have fun, and you'll find that you're flashing a hell of a lot more boulders. So get out there, go climbing. I hope you enjoyed this. Is the first thing that I've actually done like this, and it's been a little bit of an experiment. So if you've enjoyed it, please like the video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, then subscribe. I'm quite excited to do a little bit more of this, so I hope you come along for the ride.